Hi everyone, my name is Chris. I'm the Camping Stitcher here on YouTube and Instagram and Facebook. You can find me in all those places under the Camping Stitcher. This is my Flosstube number 32. It is Saturday, July 8th, 2023. It's a disgustingly humid, hot day in Northwest New Jersey, so I have my air conditioner on and my fan, and I hope that it doesn't create too much of a distracting noise in the background. Fingers crossed. It can't be worse than a power outage, right? So I am back about 2 weeks after my WIP parade. So if you're new here, thank you for stopping by. This is a channel mostly about cross stitch. Sometimes I'll throw in some quilting or punch needle or some other craft that caught my attention. And I usually tell a campfire story at the end, but I'll let you know ahead of time. So if you want to scoot out, you can. Today is about stuff. I've been stitching. I've been hauling. I've got some questions to answer. I've got some thank yous. So if you're returning, thank you for coming back. And if you're new, welcome. I hope you like what you see and you stick around. That was a tangent. Anyways, first I want to just say some thank yous. I want to thank Tasha from Britches Get Stitches. She had shouted me out a few weeks ago and I totally never mentioned it. Thank you, Tasha. I really appreciate it. If you haven't checked out her channel, go see what she's up to. She's got some great stitching and she does some awesome sewing. Also, I really like to thank Carol Saltbox Stitcher for shouting me out on her last Flosstube. I really appreciated that. I think that really helped scoot me over the 3,000 subscriber mark, which we just hit. It's very exciting. Last weekend, maybe a couple days ago. I don't know. It's all a blur. But thank you, Carol. And Laurel, I'm a stitch nerd. She is a fantastic stitcher and she quilts an awful lot. I just love watching her. She has some great quilting and I really wish I could quilt like she did because, well, she gets a lot done. And lastly, Vicky, the Virginia Stitcher, she gave me a mention on her last video too. So thank you, everybody. If you haven't checked out their channels, I'll list them below. They're all wonderful stitchers. I'm sure you follow them, most of them, if not all of them. They're some of the people that I get my inspiration from. I remember when I first found Flosstube, finding Carol Saltbox, as Rachel calls her. She has got one of the most amazing collections of samplers and stitching and quilts, and just, it's phenomenal. It's something to aspire to. Anyway, thank you, everybody. I did have some questions, and I usually answer the questions directly on YouTube, but I figured this time maybe if some other people had the same questions, I'd just answer them here too. Somebody had a question about the Happy Campers by the Blue Flower and if it had any 1/1 or special stitches. It doesn't have any 1/1, but it does have some Algerian eyelets, and I think I mentioned last time the chart shows them kind of not very clearly the way they're stitched. They are stitched on the fabric directly and not over the floss that is around them. It shows them stitched over Cadet, and it really isn't. I checked with Janine and she said, nope, stitch them straight on the fabric like you would any other Algerian eyelet. I think they're Algerian eyelets. The eyelets, they go around and they make the hole in the middle. Another question I had about the bee pillow, I should have brought it over, but it had the ribbon finish. What I did was I tied the ribbon in the corner and I stay stitched certain spots of the ribbon to make it look, I really wish I should have brought it over, but I didn't because I'm not very prepared. Story of my life. But I did sew them, I didn't glue them. I sewed that ribbon on. The last question I had was on the Autumn Quaker I showed in my WIP parade. And Bridget asked if I was using just one thread of the Valdani. Now, I brought some of the Valdani over so I could show you what the little balls look like. They're like this, okay? And it's a 3-stranded floss, like that. The pattern, the chart calls for it to be stitched on 28 count, and if you were to do that, you would use this length of 3 strands, because I never do anything that I'm supposed to do. I'm stitching mine on 36 count, so I am using 1 strand of the Valdani, and it does separate just like DMC separates. You cut a length off and just separate it out. So basically, you know, if you're going to go with the 28, you're going to use all 3 of the strands in the length. If you're going to do anything other than 28 and you're going to go for a different count, you would adjust your strands the way you want it to look. I like 1 strand, and I think it gave nice coverage, but I like a more prim look, so that's why I go with the 1 strand and the 36 count. So I hope that answered you guys' questions. Oh, also, I didn't pick a winner, but I will, and I will post it in a little graphic at the end of this. The count on my WIPs is 30, and I will pick somebody from that and post it at the end of the video, and you'll see your name there. As far as the choice, I asked for votes on the linen for a type of Christmas, and baked clay was the winner hands down, and that's actually what I started to stitch it on. The other question I asked was about the exclusives, and that was in, I think, episode 30. If you guys who attend retreats want the pieces to stay exclusive, and a lot of people said no, they didn't mind if they were released soon after the retreat, or if they went for sale by the person who held the retreat. But there were a few people who said, yeah, if they went to a retreat and they paid for it, they wanted it to stay exclusive for a year. So there you have it. I'm guessing that, you know, that's part of the allure for some people to go to retreats, is that they have that exclusivity. So I'm glad. Thank you for answering the question. You know, it really helps to understand how things like that work. So thanks. I always have my little list by Katie, Nap Time Stitcher. You're a floss tuber, or you want to be a floss tuber, awesome. Do that. I have 3 FFOs to show you guys. The first one, I can't remember what linen I stitched it on, but I got it, the chart came as a little kit. So the first one is Happy Birthday America by Bernard Gervais with the needle and thread. There's stitching. I want to say I used, Winter's Brew. You know, I lie. I think I did. I had a little piece of it. Anyway, did all the stitching, and I left it sit for almost a year. I finished it last July, I guess, after 4th of July, and I made up my mind that this year I would finish it. So I got my big girl panties on, and I sat down one day and I just went for it. I painted. It comes with this little spool. It comes with the paper mache box, which is on the round box. It's on the inside here. It came with this fabric, the alphabet fabric, and it came with the pom-poms. So I went and got some of the paints that I liked, that I thought would go good with my decor in the piece. I painted it, I glued it on, and I followed the directions Brenda gave, and it does just sit on that little cake plate. And I love it. I'm so happy with the way it came out. I don't know why it took so long to finish it, because that's ridiculous. When you get so afraid of something that it keeps you from finishing it, don't let it happen. Just go ahead and do it. I mean, she gave such great instructions, and she gave little templates for cutting out the batting, because you need batting for it. She gave it a template for cutting the circle to close this up. I just used some scrapbook paper for the back that had some writing on it, and voila, we're done. So that was my first finish. My second one was Mary Bell. Mary Bell. That was my second one. And that is by Homespun Prims by Lori. This was stitched on 36 count flannel flower with the called for threads. And I framed it with a frame from Art to Frames. And I love it. I love Lori's designs. She is just so talented. This is just so perfect in this frame. I wanted something a little chunkier because it's a small piece, but I didn't want it to hide I didn't want it to take away from it, and I think I got the right combination. So, just really super happy with that. That's just a reflection. But I've gotten most of my frames either from Art to Frames, or I've gotten them from like the Restore from Habitat for Humanity, or I don't know, I've had some frames that are knocking around from like yard sales and stuff, but this one I got from Art to Frames. Super happy with it. Just have to close up the back and put my hanger on the back, and it's going to be on the wall. So that was my second finish. And my last one, of course, this was for Sherry, the Colorado cross stitcher. She does a cross stitch camp she has done it the last 3 years. I think this is her third year. And I did this. June's was stitch a bird and finish it. And you didn't have to fully finish it, but I was like, why not? So I finished stitching it, and this was the chart. Ye Old Crow by Heart and Hand. It came with, did it come with it? Yeah, it came with little tiny buttons. Little tiny black buttons that you put on. And this was my finish. So here's the little buttons. 1, 2, I think there's just 2. Is there 2? 3. 1 here. So I just did some trim. Why does that look a little wavy? This one I actually had a half stuff. I have stuff with cluster stuff and polyfill because I ran out of polyfill. So, and then I just backed it and put my label on it. These are from Ever Emblem on Etsy. They're iron on labels. But I'm really super happy with that. And I've done the red bird. I've done this Eo Crow. I'm gonna do, there's the bluebird, and I have the cuckoo. Are there any more birds? There probably are, but I just love her birds. This is gonna be perfect. I don't care what season it is, but it is perfect for Halloween. But put my initials on it and the year. So I really love the way that she just kind of turns a letter, or it's just the sizing. I just really love her designs. These little pom-pom doohickeys need to be arranged. But really had a lot of fun stitching that. It was a quick stitch. So those were my stitched FFOs. I do have one sewing FFO I wanted to show you. I finally got my courage up. Hang on. Sorry. Finally got my courage up, and I sat down one day. This is a great thing about, being able to have the time to just go do those things that you don't have to rush. You can just take your time and take a couple of days, and you can kind of just do some things that you put off because you didn't have the time. That's my point I'm trying to get to. Anyway, I've been watching Elizabeth Ann Can Stitches. I do her vinyl front bags. I know them pretty much by heart. But I really wanted to try an all fabric bag. And there's just something about when you turn a piece and then it's inside out and then you have to reach in and grab it. Couldn't wrap my head around it for a little while. I have dyslexia, so I think kind of plays havoc with me sometimes. But I've watched her video on how to do that process quite a few times, and I finally just said, just do it. Just put the video on, do it while she's back and forth, take it step by step, and man, I totally get it now. So I had gone to Hobby Lobby and got some fabric, like I needed more. I had nothing that matched, nothing that fit. So anyway, I did it. I made a bag, and it came out pretty okay. I'm pretty happy with it. I even have it's like I did the contrasty thing with there's a lining and then the other piecey thing, and then it's like got a lining and I sewed it and it has no holes. It's like I'm super proud of it. I made it. I did it. So I have a couple of sets of fabric that I'm going to be making more bags of. I can't wait. So that was my sewing FFO this week. So that's it for my FFOs. Now I'm going to show you, what have you been working on, Chris? Well, let me tell you. What haven't I been working on? I've got a couple of bags here. Let me just put things down. The first thing, the new, the calls came out for WIP Go got at you. The calls came out for WIP Go on the 25th, and I actually was stitching on something anyway, so I kind of got going a little early, but as Jessie Marie says, it's my board, my rules, no guilt. I decided to just hunker down. I had shown you guys on my WIP parade that I had one of my WIPs that was Whimsical Winter. I'm going to work on that this month, but it'll be my extra 5 days at the end. I decided to switch out my daughter-in-law's stocking for that WIP Go call because I really want to get this done. I think if I put the time in on it, it could be done relatively quickly. This is what it's going to look like. This is an old Dimensions kit. It's a lot of little stitches overall, but I barely had the rocking horse done, and I spent 5 days on this, and tomorrow's Stocking Sunday, so I'll spend some more time on it, and I got a heap done. I can't wait. So this bear's almost getting ready to be finished, and then I have a couple of blocks, I think, and then I get started on the heel, toe, and the name, and then all the little paw print type stitches. It's gonna be cool, and then it'll be ready for her for this holiday. I can't wait. I'm pretty excited. So that was the first little bit of WIP Go. I had already been working on that, so that box is done. Kind of proud. Getting stuff done. My other WIP Go call is also I was working on. So hey, my goal for WIP Go is just to touch something 4 times, and with using Carol Saltbox Stitcher's 5 for 5, I kind of just go 5 times, but that's like 5 days of working on something. So my other WIP Go call was Humming of the Bees, Blackbird Designs, and this is on aged paper by Color and Cotton, and I am using all the called for floss. And I know when I showed you this in my WIP parade, I only had the top border done. That's all I had done. I've got this I know. Yell at me. I leave needles in every single thing I do. And I'm never going to change. All right. But I got a heck of a big stitching done on this. I did the house brick. I got it all done. And I got those 2 motifs done and a little bit more of this border here done. And I'm telling you that I think that house is like the biggest part of this whole thing. Well, maybe these bowls, but I'm gonna probably bring this out with once I finish up my 3rd WIP Coke wall, which was the free box, but I actually put a new start in that box. So I've got today's the 3rd day I was working on it. So I have 2 more days of working on that, and then I have a bingo. Never had that before because I never did WIP Go before. You gotta do WIP Go to have a bingo. So that is my humming of the bees. Sorry. I have, let's see, the stocking, the humming of the bees. I have one of my commit whips, which is so the sals. I kind of call my sals that I commit to commit whips because I feel like I made a commitment to work on them. Anyway, one of my commit whips is for Jess Como Stitches. Excuse me while I take apart this hoop. For her birthday sal, she's working on Erin Elizabeth's A Type of Christmas. It is flippin' adorable, and it is so much fun. This is gonna go fast. I'm telling you, super fast. Look at the colors. They're so cute. They're so pretty. Look at these colors. All DMC. What is the fabric I'm using is blah, blah, blah. Good luck to me. Oh, I'll use the labelettes on it. Base clay. Remember we said we decided on it because you guys told me what you wanted me to do? Anyway, here's where I am. Just that corner, but oh my goodness. Here, wait. I gotta see it with the light behind it because I did that elf yesterday and today. So stinking cute. That little penguin up in the snow globe. Dear God. Adorable. Love it. Having so much fun. This one I have for stitching on for 2 more days for the 5 for 5. I'll be working on this a little bit this afternoon. Had a very exciting day so far. I was stitching, I was shopping, it was all sorts of shenanigans. So those were my whips. I have 2 more, 1 more, 2 more. Wait. I did do a little bit of work on American Sampler, but I don't think you guys really, I really just did some filling on the house. That's it. American Sampler, Plum Street Designs. Plum Street Samplers. What am I talking about? I'm giving her a new name. Oh, you know what was funny? When I said that, you know how you say buy all the blackbirds? Brenda and Laura say buy all the blackbirds. And I said, well, I want you to purchase all the Plum Street. Well, Carol on my last video said, and stash all the Station Ash. I thought that was really cute. So we're just going to come up with acronyms for all our designers. So the other thing I worked on was the Primrose Cottage Sal. Welcome to the North Pole. We're on to this section now. And I did start that. Another commit whip. Another needle. Because that's what I do. If you don't leave a needle in, then you're looking for a needle, and then that's never good. So I just started the train. And I got the toys, the last train. Most of it done. Well, not really. Really, let's face it. Half of it's done. But there we are. And this is on 36 count light mocha with all the called for floss. And it's a combination of weeks Classic Colorworks, some Gast, and what else? Some DMC. There are the colors. That's a lot of fun too. Sorry if you can hear my air conditioner. It's so hot here. It finally got hot. We're supposed to have a little bit stormy later, maybe, they say. And then they lie, and it doesn't happen. Right, I think that's it for my WIPs. That's all I got for stitching. I do have one that it's part, kind of, I'll show you after haul for plans, because I'm going to have a new start. So, you know, stitch all the things. Why not? So, haul. Okay. So there was some haul. And today, there was actually a pop-up shop right near me. Needleworkers Delight. They were the most local needlework shop to me. They were probably about an hour's drive from me. And I would get to go like maybe once or twice a year. I did go to one of their Needle Fest retreats 2 years ago. They actually moved out of their shop, and they have been doing pop-up shops all over New Jersey, and they're having a retreat in Pennsylvania, but I think mostly New Jersey. They're showing up, and they showed up at one of the stitching groups near me at the Presbyterian Church, and my friend Karen from my Facebook group, well, she's my good friend. She's been my good friend for years. From my former school. Her and I went today, and it was fun. But I'm going to show you that haul last. I'm just going to show you the stuff I ordered. Okay, my friend Felicia is my friend from Mouse Potatoes. Alicia, oh my God, if I can get this straight. Alicia, who's on a wonderful road trip with her husband right now, she showed this the other day, and it was just an immediate add to cart. Americano by Rosewood Manor. It comes with the little charms and buttons. Thank you, Alicia, for enabling. Sheesh. I did get some threads, and this is part of the haul for the new start, so I'll show you that in a second. Okay, well, some of you, all of you, if you don't know, you should. Kitten Snitcher. Oh my gosh, words. Kitten Stitcher and Paulette of Plum Street, they did a collaboration, and I immediately saw it and immediately ordered it, and it came. This should be my next start, but I don't know. There's so many things I want to start and stitch, and since I was ordering that, I had to order Paulette's Summer Moon, because purchase all the Plum Street. Okay, the new punch needle and permanent stitcher came out. I have a subscription. I do get it electronically, but they do send me a copy of it. And Teresa Kogut, oh my goodness, this is such a worthwhile magazine. Here's the back. Show you some more of what's inside of it. It's awesome. My fabric of the month came from June from Fox and Rabbit. So if you haven't gotten yours yet, close your eyes. Possum, which is so cool. Look at that. My dog's snoring, just in case you're wondering, because how many more noises can we have today? And let's see, because I learned how to make those wonderful new all fabric bags, I ordered some fabric from Fat Quarter Shop. That's going to be the lining. This adorable birdhouse is going to be the outside. I can't wait to make that. That might be supposed to rain tomorrow. We'll see. And lastly, for my mail order stuff, a sticker book, because Book of Days, you need your stickers. These are even weirder though. I'm telling you, there's some weird stuff. I mean, cute, but some of the stuff is weird. But I like it. Weird. Okay, so that is all the haul I had before Karen and I set out for Needleworkers Delight pop-up shop today. Oh, wait, one more thing. I'm just going to tease you. So my friend Jess Como Stitches of the Sal, Como Christmas Sal, of the wonderful bag maker, I finally went and did it. I finally caught. It's gorgeous. Jess. Unbelievable. So she's going to have another sale tonight. I don't, different bags, but it's our Etsy. I'll link it below. She's having a sale tonight. Don't miss it. I mean, you all know it. I'm not late to the game because it's taking, I don't know, I think on Friday nights I was just like conked out all the time from work, but I don't have that problem anymore. All right. Last of my haul besides the threads. This is my, I think it's a quite modest selection of charts. Unfortunately, they didn't have any, they had 36 count, but it was all dark, and I was looking for Vintage Country Mocha. So Allison said, you know, with these pop-up shops, if you have one in your area, in New Jersey, let her know ahead of time, and she will try to bring what you're looking for. If she has it, she'll bring it. So good to know, because I would have said, please bring me some Vintage Country Mocha. I didn't know that. Never hurts to ask, though, right? So I did get some patterns, some charts. I have never seen this before, and I'm sure it's out there. I don't know. I shouldn't say that. What if it's not? But anyway, Holiday Hoopla, Thanksgiving by Brenda Gervais. I'm trying to get this so it's not, okay. Adorable. I mean, how cute is that? Some of these I have never seen before. This is by Jeanette Douglas. Sew Together, #2, Pins and Needles. I think pretty much everything was smalls to stitch. And I just love stitching smalls in between all the huge things I'm stitching. I picked up 2, or maybe she only had the whale. Anyway, I've been wanting to do these, and after my whale story last week, I really should just stitch that and put it in my camper. Hands-on design. Whale, hello there. So cute. I have never had any patterns by her before, but Needle Art by Wendy, from the heart. Needle Art by Wendy. Summer Blooms. Look at that. And it's got I wanted to try a strawberry, so I'm going to give that a go. Trying to get it. Oh, there it is. There it is. And then I bought Scattered Seed Samplers Home Sweet Home Pin Keep, because look at the birds. Can you look at them because of the glare? So cute. And lastly, Miss Annie B's Folk Art. Miss Annie, I have your red work pairs, so I had to get the blue work pairs. And my dog is snoring like a freight train. So, you're getting it all today. Hopefully not a power outage, but you're getting most of it. Anyway, that was my haul. I think I did well. I mean, it was a pop-up shop. Oh, wait, there was one other one. Hang on. I must have dropped it. I think I'm dropping things left and right lately. There was a Tiny Modernist. Pause. It just didn't want to come out of the bag. So I saw this, and this is definitely going in the camper. Tiny Modernist. Every day is an adventure. How cute. Alright. That's mostly it for my haul. The other part of my haul was... oh, I love these bags. These threads that I just didn't seem to have in stock. They're all weeks. Pretty. And they're all meant to go on this ring, which is meant to go with this fabric, which is Vintage Country Mocha. So I could start this because I want to. Look at the trees and the deer and that border. And just Sweetwater Stitcher couldn't resist starting it. And I mean, I like a lot of the same things that Jess likes, so I can't, I mean, I'm with you, Jess. Doing it. Next couple of days, I'll be starting that, I think. So that's it. That's the haul. I think. We're going to go with that. What else have I been doing? So let's see. Oh, that's my plans. So I'm going to be finishing up my WIP Go, doing my 5 for 5, and that's about it. I have a few people I've been watching, catching up with them, because I wasn't getting to see too much Flosstube, here and there, and maybe in the morning. I was catching up with Felicia of Mouse Potato Designs, and she is just redoing her whole craft room with such pretty furniture. Plus she does some beautiful stitching. So go check her out if you haven't already. Caught up today with Olivia Pumpkin Hollow Quilts. And yesterday I caught up with Taryn Verlai. Taryn, congratulations on your upcoming little bundle in your family. And I just love Taryn. She's got I love the way she tells a story, and I love her stitching. So give her, I'll link them below, give them a check out. I have been watching an awful lot with my husband, because he has done this his whole life. It's a YouTube channel called Below the Plains, and it was recommended, I'm pretty sure it was Nancy, the Disorderly Stitcher, had mentioned it in her Flosstube. This young guy, Thomas, goes and he digs up outhouses from way back when, and finds tons of old bottles and everything else. My husband used to do that. He actually was surprised when I asked him. I'm like, you dug up outhouses? And he goes, well, they were bottle dumps. They called them bottle dumps. But he said, but yes, some of them were outhouses. A lot of them, that's where people dumped their trash. When the outhouse was done and they had to go dig a new outhouse, they would dump their trash in the hole for the old outhouse. And even, I guess, while they were using it, they were still dumping it. Supposedly, when they're digging up these holes that are 100 years old, everything's, lived its life and not gonna bother you. But I don't know, it's interesting, but it's a neat channel. So, and then I got sucked into watching The Secrets of Skinwalker Ranch, and somebody needs to stop me from watching it. Not sure why I'm watching it, so somebody tell me why I shouldn't watch it, or tell me why I should continue to watch it, because oh my gosh, when I was younger, I used to read everything on UFOs. But I know the government's confirmed. I don't know, they're out there. Anyway, so I've been doing that. We've been bike riding when we can, when the weather isn't ridiculously humid and you want to keel over. But we did have a real spring this year, so we really can't complain. We had a decent run of it. Other than the little bit of drought that we had and the smoke and stuff, we really had some nice weather. So it's summer. July came and it's summer. So I think that's about it. I know I'm gonna forget something, so that's why I have the new segment, Things I Forget. So stay tuned for that in episode 33, because I'm sure it'll dawn on me as soon as I go bloop and shut it off. Now I'm getting to the part where I'm going to tell a campfire story. So if you're not interested in that, I will see you next time. Thank you for sticking around. Thank you for hanging out for the jibber jabber, because that's what I do. Okay, so here's the campfire story for this week, and this is a special little shout out to a little girl named Nyla. Hi Nyla, and thank you for watching my stories. I'm so glad that you enjoy them. And thank you to her mom Rebecca for letting her watch my stories. So anyway, this was a camping trip that we had up in Maine. We were camping in the White Mountains. We usually went to a campground called Hastings Basins, one in New Hampshire, I think. They're on the border there. So we decided to take a kayaking trip. They give trips along the Androscoggin River, and it was just, I think it was my husband and I, our boys, and my brother-in-law. And they drop you off. Probably, we could take a couple of different types, but we took like the 3-hour tour. So they dropped us off in Glede, Maine. Glede, New Hampshire. Oh my God, I always confuse them. Anyway, they're very close to each other. And the first thing that happened was my brother-in-law had put his paddle in his boat, in his kayak, and it fell out when we were driving. So they had to scramble and get him a paddle so that we could actually do the trip. Then we got into we put into the water, and you start paddling, and they tell you, like, it's not like a guided tour or anything. If you know what you're doing, they go over safety stuff with you, but you're on your own pretty much unless you pay for a guided tour. So we've been kayaking before, so we just went on our own. So, we did the usual, paddling around, did some stops. I think at one point we stopped to have some snacks or something, and my brother-in-law got out of his kayak and ended up in mud up to his hips. That was fun. But you sort of the usual, we get to see some wildlife, mostly birds. Had lunch on the river, snacks and stuff. And we're paddling along, and it was a beautiful day. All of a sudden, this shadow comes over our heads. And we're like, what the? And I want to say I was in the front, because I kind of remember this happening in front of me. But shadow comes over our heads, and down swoops in front of us a bald eagle, and just flies down the river in front of us for a couple of minutes, like he was our special escort of the day, which was just so amazing. You think that, animals are always afraid of you, but he just like whoop, swoop right in front of us, flew down the river in front of us, and then took off, and we were just all, holy cow, did that just really happen? It was really neat. It was a neat experience to see a bald eagle that close, and to have him fly in front of you without, yeah, follow me, I'll show you the way to go. Anyway, that's our kayaking story, and I think we were pretty close to getting out anyway, so we just, they tell you where to get out of the water, and our cars were parked at the end, so that's how it works out. You're actually paying for someone to drop you off ahead of time so that you don't have to go back and forth, kind of thing. Anyway, that's my campfire story for this episode. I hoped you enjoyed it, Nyla, and I will see you probably in a little over 2 weeks. It's probably going to be like a Monday or Tuesday when I come back in 2 weeks. So in the meantime, stay well, stay happy, and stitch away. Thanks. Bye.